The shock. It was a normal Tuesday on Earth. People were going to work, kids were in school, and everything seemed fine. But then, something big happened that changed everything. In New York, a man named Tom was walking to his office. He looked up and saw something strange in the sky. It wasn't a plane or a cloud. It was huge and silver. Tom stopped and stared. Other people on the street started to notice too. "What is that?" someone yelled. More and more people looked up. The big silver thing in the sky got closer. It was so big it covered the sun. The whole city got dark. Then more silver things appeared. They were all over the world. In London, Tokyo, Moscow, and every big city, people saw these giant ships in the sky. On TV, reporters were talking fast. They looked scared. "Alien ships are over all major cities," one said. "We don't know why they're here." World leaders tried to talk to the aliens. They sent messages saying, "We come in peace." But the aliens didn't answer. People were scared. Some ran home. Others just stood and looked at the sky. No one knew what to do. After a few hours, the aliens finally spoke. Their voice was loud. It came from the ships and everyone on Earth could hear it. "People of Earth," the alien voice said, "we are the Galactic Council. We have watched you for a long time. You are growing too fast. You are taking too much space. This must stop." People were shocked. They didn't know aliens were watching them. They didn't know there was a Galactic Council. The alien voice continued, "You have two choices. Stop growing now, or we will stop you. You have one Earth day to decide." Then the voice stopped. The ships just sat there, waiting. Earth's leaders met right away. They talked in a big room at the United Nations. Some were scared and wanted to do what the aliens said. Others were angry. "We can't let aliens tell us what to do," the US president said. "We have the right to grow and explore space." "But look at those ships," another leader said. "They're so big. How can we fight them?" They argued for hours. Meanwhile, people all over the world were scared and confused. Some thought the aliens might be right. Maybe humans were taking too much space. Others were ready to fight. As the day went on, something strange happened. People started to feel braver. They remembered all the hard things humans had faced before. Wars, diseases, natural disasters. Humans had survived it all. "We've come so far," a woman in Brazil said on TV. "We can't give up now." In India, a group of students made a sign. It said, "Earth is our home. We won't be bullied." Scientists worked fast to learn about the alien ships. They found out the ships had strong shields, but they also found a weak spot. "If we hit them here," a scientist said, pointing to a map, "we might be able to hurt them." As the day was ending, Earth's leaders made a decision. They would not give in to the aliens' demands. The US president spoke to the world. "We are the people of Earth," she said. "We have the right to grow, to explore, to reach for the stars. We will not be stopped by fear. We will stand together." People cheered in the streets. They were still scared, but now they were also brave. When the aliens' deadline came, Earth was ready. The president spoke to the Galactic Council. "We reject your ultimatum," she said. "Earth and its people are free. We will defend our right to exist and grow." The alien ships didn't move. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. Would the aliens attack? Would they leave? As the sun set on this crazy day, one thing was clear. The people of Earth were not going to give up without a fight. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The Terran Empire, as Earth now called itself, had taken its first step onto the galactic stage. And it had done so not with fear, but with courage. Talking fails. The next day, Earth was different. The big alien ships still hung in the sky. They were quiet, but everyone knew they were watching. Earth's leaders picked 5 people to talk to the aliens. They were the best talkers from different countries. Maria from Brazil was smart and calm. Jamal from Kenya knew a lot about peace talks. Lai from China was good at making deals. Sarah from Canada was friendly and kind. And Alex from Russia was tough and didn't get scared easily. These 5 flew up to the biggest alien ship in a special space plane. They were nervous but tried to look brave. Inside the ship, it was very strange. The walls looked alive, and the air felt thick. The 5 humans had to wear special suits to breathe. 3 aliens met them. They were tall and blue with 4 arms each. Their eyes were big and purple. "Welcome," said the middle alien. Its voice sounded like music. "We are the voice of the Galactic Council." Maria stepped forward. "We come to talk peace," she said. "We want to understand why you're afraid of us growing." The aliens looked at each other. Then the one on the left spoke. "Your kind spreads fast. Too fast. You take and don't stop." Jamal tried next. "We're young as a space people," he said. "We're learning. We can change." The aliens didn't look happy. "Words," said the right one. "Just words. We've heard them before from others." They lied. The talks went on for hours. The humans tried to explain. They talked about Earth's history, about how humans had learned from mistakes. Lai talked about making deals. "We can agree on where to go in space," he said. "We don't have to fight." But the aliens kept saying no. They showed pictures of planets where humans might go one day. In the pictures, the planets were ruined. "This is what you do," said the middle alien. "You destroy. You use up everything. We can't let you do this to the galaxy." Sarah tried to be nice. "Those pictures aren't real," she said. "They're just guesses. We can be better than that." The aliens didn't believe her. They seemed to get angrier. Alex had been quiet. Now he spoke up. "You're not being fair," he said. "You don't know what we'll do. You're judging us before we even start." This made the aliens very mad. "We know," they shouted. "We've seen it before. Species like you. They grow and ruin everything." The humans were shocked. They realized the aliens weren't really listening. They had already decided humans were bad. Maria tried one last time. "Please," she said, "give us a chance. We can work together. We can learn from you." For a moment, it seemed like the aliens might listen. But then the middle one shook its head. "No," it said. "You've made your choice. You won't stop growing. So we will stop you." The aliens pointed to the door. The talk was over. As the humans left, they felt sad and scared. They had tried their best, but it hadn't worked. Back on Earth, people were waiting to hear what happened. When they heard the news, many were angry. "They won't even give us a chance." Someone yelled in a crowd in London. "We should fight," shouted another in Delhi. But some people were still scared. "Maybe we should do what they say," a woman in Sydney said. "Those ships are so big." Earth's leaders met again. They had a big choice to make. Should they give in to the aliens, or should they stand up for themselves? The 5 who had talked to the aliens told their story. "They've already decided we're bad." Sarah said, "They won't listen." "But how can we fight them?" asked a scared leader. Alex stood up. "We don't know if we can win," he said. "But we know we'll lose everything if we give up." As night fell, the leaders made their choice. They would not give in. Earth would stand up to the Galactic Council. The president went on TV again. "We tried to talk," she said. "We offered peace, but the aliens won't listen. They want to stop us from growing, from exploring. We can't let that happen." She took a deep breath. "It won't be easy," she said. "But we will defend our right to exist, to grow, to reach for the stars. We are the Terran Empire, and we will not be bullied." All over the world, people cheered. They were scared, but they were also proud. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The talking had failed. Now it was time to get ready for what might come next. Getting ready. The world changed fast after the failed talks. Everyone knew a big fight might come soon. Earth had to get ready, and fast. In a secret lab under the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Emily Chen worked day and night. She was trying to make a new kind of gun. It wasn't like normal guns. This one shot beams of light that could cut through metal. "We need to test it again," Emily said to her team. They all looked tired, but nobody complained. They knew their work could save Earth. They fired the gun at a thick metal wall. The beam cut through it like it was paper. Everyone cheered. "It works," shouted Emily's assistant, Mark. "We did it." But Emily wasn't done. "It's good," she said, "but we need to make it better. Smaller, so it can fit on ships." While Emily worked on weapons, others were making shields. In a big factory in Japan, robots built huge metal plates. These weren't normal metal. They were special. They could bounce back energy weapons. Kenji, the factory boss, watched the robots work. "Faster," he said. "We need more. Every ship, every city needs these." Up in space, astronauts were turning the International Space Station into a fort. They added guns and shields. They made room for fighters to live there. Sarah, one of the astronauts, floated by a window. She could see Earth below and the alien ships far away. "I never thought I'd be a soldier in space," she said to her friend Juan. Juan nodded. "Me neither. But we'll protect our home, no matter what." Back on Earth, in every country, people were training to fight. Farmers, teachers, office workers. Everyone was learning how to use new weapons and tech. In a field in Kenya, Amani taught her neighbors how to use a force field maker. "Press this button," she said, "and it makes a shield around you. But be careful. It only lasts for a minute." Her friend Jabari tried it. The blue force field popped up around him. "Cool," he said. Then he got serious. "I hope we don't have to use these for real." Amani nodded. "Me too, but if we do, we'll be ready." In cities, people were building underground shelters. They stored food, water, and medicine. They didn't know how long a war might last. Tom, the man who first saw the alien ships, was helping dig a shelter in New York. "Dig deeper," he told his team. "We need room for everyone." His friend Maria looked worried. "Will this really help if they attack?" she asked. Tom wiped sweat from his face. "I don't know," he said honestly, "but we have to try. We have to do something." All over the world, scientists were working on other projects too. Some tried to figure out how the alien ships worked. Others looked for ways to talk to other aliens who might help Earth. In a lab in Brazil, Dr. Luisa Santos made a big discovery. "Look at this," she said to her team. She pointed at a screen showing the alien ships. "See this pattern? I think it's how they talk to each other." Her team crowded around. "Can we use it?" asked one. Luisa nodded. "Maybe. If we can copy it, we might be able to confuse them. Maybe even talk to their ships." The news spread fast. Earth had a new weapon, knowledge. As days passed, Earth changed. Cities looked different. Guns and shields were everywhere. People walked faster, talked less. Everyone was getting ready. But it wasn't all about fighting. People were coming together too. Old enemies became friends. Countries that never got along started working together. In a big meeting room, world leaders signed a new agreement. They called it the Terran Alliance. "We are no longer just separate countries," said the president. "We are one Earth, one people. The Terran Empire." People watched on TV and cheered. For the first time, the whole world was truly united. Up in space, the alien ships stayed quiet, but everyone knew they were watching, waiting. One night, as the sun set, Tom stood on his roof in New York. He looked at the alien ship hanging in the sky. Then he looked around at his city, guns on buildings, shields shimmering, people hurrying home. "We've changed so much," he said to himself. "I hope we don't lose ourselves in all this." But as he watched, he saw something that made him smile. His neighbors were getting together for dinner. They did this every night now, sharing food, telling stories, being close. Tom realized something. Yes, Earth was getting ready for a big fight. But in doing so, humans were also becoming stronger, more united. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. The Terran Empire was ready. Now, they waited to see what the Galactic Council would do next. First big fight. The day started like any other, but it would soon become the day Earth fought back. At 3:15 p.m., alarms went off all over the world. The alien ships were moving. They were attacking Earth's space stations. In the Global Defense Command Center, General Maria Rodriguez watched big screens. Red dots showed where aliens were attacking. "This is it," she said. "Send out our ships. Protect those stations." Earth's new space fighters took off. They were small and fast. Pilot Jake Chen flew one. As he left Earth, he saw the huge alien ships. They looked like angry storm clouds. "Remember your training," Jake said to his team. "Stay together. We can do this." The battle in space was like fireworks. Alien ships shot green lasers. Earth ships fired back with blue light beams. Explosions lit up the sky. Jake flew his ship fast. He dodged alien shots. "I'm going for the big one," he shouted. He fired at a large alien ship. His blue beam hit it. The alien ship's side exploded. "Good shot, Jake," yelled his friend Aisha. She was flying nearby. But the aliens weren't giving up. They sent out smaller ships. These were faster than the big ones. They chased Earth's fighters. Back on Earth, in cities and towns, people watched the sky. They could see flashes of light. Some were scared. Others cheered every time they saw an alien ship explode. In New York, Tom and his neighbors stood on their roof. "Look," shouted Maria. "Our ships are winning." Tom wasn't so sure. He could see some Earth ships falling too. "I hope we're ready down here," he said. He was right to worry. Some alien ships were getting past Earth's space fighters. They were heading for the planet. In the command center, General Rodriguez saw this. "They're coming down," she said. "Get the ground defenses ready." All over Earth, the new weapons powered up. Force fields appeared over cities. Huge guns pointed at the sky. The first alien ship appeared over London. It was huge and dark. It fired a green beam at the city. But the new shields worked. The beam bounced off. "The shields are holding," shouted a soldier in London. People cheered. Earth fought back. The new light guns fired at the alien ship. Beams of blue light shot up. They hit the ship. It started to smoke. But the alien ship wasn't done. It dropped smaller ships. These tried to land in the city. In the streets, people used their new weapons. Force fields popped up to block alien shots. People fired back with handheld light guns. It was the same in cities all over the world. Paris, Tokyo, Cairo, everywhere, people fought the aliens. It wasn't just soldiers. Regular people helped too. In Rio de Janeiro, a group of teenagers used their force fields to protect a hospital. In Moscow, an old woman surprised everyone. She picked up a fallen soldier's gun and shot down an alien fighter. The fight was hard. Some buildings were damaged. Some people got hurt, but Earth was holding its ground. Up in space, the battle was still going. Jake and his team kept fighting. They had destroyed many alien ships, but there were always more. "We're running out of power," Aisha shouted. Her ship's lights were flickering. Jake looked around. He saw a big alien ship nearby. It was giving power to the smaller ships. "I have an idea," he said. "Follow me." Jake flew straight at the big ship. Aisha and the others followed. They dodged alien shots. They got closer and closer. "Now," Jake yelled. They all fired at once. Their blue beams hit the alien power ship. It exploded in a huge fireball. All around it, the smaller alien ships lost power. They started falling back to their big ships. On Earth, people saw the big explosion in space. They cheered. The alien ships were retreating. In the command center, General Rodriguez smiled for the first time that day. "They're leaving," she said. "We did it." As the alien ships pulled back, Earth celebrated. People hugged in the streets. They had faced the biggest fight in human history, and they had won. But it wasn't over. Everyone knew the aliens might come back. Earth had won the first big fight, but the war wasn't finished. That night, as the world cleaned up and counted its losses, people felt different. They were sad for those they had lost, but they were also proud. Humans had stood together and fought back. Tom sat with his neighbors. They were tired but happy. "We're stronger than we thought," Maria said. Tom nodded. "And now the aliens know it too," he said. As they looked up at the stars, they wondered what would happen next. The first big fight was over. Earth had surprised everyone, even itself. But this was just the beginning. The Terran Empire had proved it could fight. Now, it had to prove it could win a war. Humans get awesome. After the big fight, Earth didn't rest. People knew the aliens might come back. So they worked harder than ever to get better, stronger, and smarter. In a secret lab under the ocean, Dr. Emily Chen was working on something big. She hadn't slept for days. Her team worried about her. "Dr. Chen, you need to rest," said her assistant, Mark. Emily shook her head. "No time. I'm close to something amazing." She mixed some strange glowing liquids. Then she put them in a machine. It started to hum and shake. Suddenly, there was a bright flash. Everyone covered their eyes. When they looked again, there was a small, shiny ball floating in the air. Emily smiled for the first time in weeks. "It works," she said. "We did it." "What is it?" Mark asked, his eyes wide. "It's a tiny star," Emily said, "a source of endless energy. And it's going to change everything." News of Emily's invention spread fast. Soon, the whole world knew. Humans had made their own stars. These tiny stars were put in ships, guns, and shields. They made everything stronger and better. Earth's space fleet became faster than anyone thought possible. Jake Chen, the pilot who helped win the first big fight, was the first to fly a new star-powered ship. As he took off, he felt the power. "This is amazing," he shouted as his ship zoomed past the moon in seconds. But the tiny stars weren't the only cool thing humans made. In Africa, a young girl named Asha had an idea that surprised everyone. Asha lived in a small village. One day, she was playing with old cell phones. She put them together in a funny way. Suddenly, she could see through walls. "Mama, Papa, look what I made," she called out. Soon, scientists came to see Asha's invention. They were shocked. This little girl had made a device that could see through anything. It could even see alien ships hiding in space. With Asha's device, Earth could always know where the aliens were. No more surprise attacks. In Australia, surfers made another cool thing. They found a way to ride ocean waves into the sky. They called it sky surfing. At first, people thought it was just for fun. But then the military saw it. They realized sky surfers could move fast and quiet, perfect for sneaking up on alien ships. Tom, the man from New York, joined the sky surfer team. "I never thought I'd fight aliens while surfing," he laughed as he rode a wave high above the city. All over the world, humans were coming up with new ideas. A farmer in China found a way to grow food super fast. Now, no one would go hungry, even in a long war. Kids in Brazil made a game that was really good at guessing what aliens would do next. The military started using it to plan battles. Even animals helped out. Scientists found out that dolphins could talk to some of the alien ships. Whales could make sounds that confused alien computers. Earth was changing fast. Cities now had buildings that could move and hide. Cars could fly. People could talk to each other with their minds. Some people worried that humans were changing too much. Are we still us? they asked. But most people were excited. They felt strong and ready for anything. One day, as Jake flew his star-powered ship, he saw something strange. A group of alien ships was coming. But they weren't attacking. They were running away from something. Jake called Earth. "You won't believe this," he said. I think some aliens are asking for our help." It turned out that the Galactic Council wasn't liked by everyone. Some aliens thought they were bullies. Now, these aliens wanted to join Earth. The world leaders had a big meeting. Should they trust these aliens? It was a hard choice. In the end, they decided to help. "We know what it's like to be bullied," the president said. "We'll help those who want freedom." And so, Earth made its first alien friends. These new allies were amazed by humans. "You've done so much in such a short time," one of them said. "You really are awesome." Humans taught their new friends about tiny stars and sky surfing. The aliens taught humans about other cool space stuff. Together, they got ready for the next big fight. But this time, Earth wasn't alone. It had allies and amazing new tech. The Galactic Council had tried to stop humans from growing. Instead, they made humans grow faster and become awesome. As the sun set on this new Earth, people looked to the stars with excitement, not fear. They were ready for whatever came next. The Terran Empire wasn't just strong now. It was awesome. Everything changes. The day started like any other on the new Earth. But by the end, nothing would be the same. Jake Chen was flying his star-powered ship near Mars. He was with Zix, one of the new alien friends. Suddenly, their computers started beeping like crazy. "What's that?" Jake asked, worried. Zix's eyes got big. "It's a distress call from the Galactic Council's home planet." Jake couldn't believe it. "The bullies need help. Should we answer?" They called Earth to ask what to do. The leaders had a quick meeting. "Go check it out," they said. "But be careful. It might be a trap." Jake and Zix flew to the Council's planet. What they saw shocked them. Huge, dark ships were attacking. They were nothing like the Council's ships. "Who are they?" Jake asked. Zix looked scared. "The Void Eaters. They're worse than the Council. They don't just stop planets from growing. They eat them." Jake called Earth again. "We have a big problem," he said. Back on Earth, leaders from all countries met. Their new alien friends joined too. They had to decide. Should they help the Galactic Council or not? Some people said no. "They tried to hurt us. Why should we help them?" Others disagreed. "If these Void Eaters are so bad, we have to stop them. Or they might come for Earth next." In New York, Tom watched the meeting on TV with his neighbors. "What do you think?" he asked Maria. Maria thought for a moment. "We should help. It's the right thing to do." The world voted. It was close, but in the end, they decided to help the Council. Earth sent its best ships, led by Jake. They had their new alien friends and all their awesome tech. Tiny stars powered their engines. Sky surfers rode space waves between ships. When they got to the Council's planet, the fight was bad. The Void Eater's ships were strong. They were eating parts of the planet. Jake led the attack. "Hit them with everything we've got," he shouted. Earth ships fired light beams. Sky surfers dropped special bombs. Their alien friends used weird space tricks. The Void Eaters were surprised. They didn't expect Earth to be so strong. Slowly, the battle started to turn. On the ground, things were just as crazy. Tom was there. He and other humans were helping get Council aliens to safety. As he helped a scared alien kid, Tom saw something big and dark coming at them. It was a Void Eater. It looked like a walking black hole. Tom didn't think. He jumped in front of the kid and turned on his force field. The Void Eater hit the shield and bounced back. "Run!" Tom yelled. The alien kid ran. Tom stood his ground. He pulled out his light gun and fired. All over the planet, scenes like this played out. Humans fought side by side with Council aliens. Old enemies became friends in the face of a bigger threat. Up in space, Jake saw a chance. The Void Eaters had a big ship that seemed to control the others. That's the target, he told his team. Jake flew straight at it, dodging attacks. At the last second, he shot his tiny star at the ship. There was a huge flash of light. When everyone could see again, the big Void Eater ship was gone. The other dark ships started to leave. A cheer went up from every ship and every person on the ground. They had won. As the dust settled, the Galactic Council leaders came to thank Earth. They looked ashamed. "We were wrong about you," they said. "You could have let us be destroyed. Instead, you saved us. We're sorry." The Earth leaders nodded. "We all make mistakes," they said. "The important thing is to learn from them." From that day, everything changed. The Galactic Council invited Earth to join them. But not just join. They'd wanted Earth to lead. "You've shown us a better way," they said. "Will you help us change?" It was a big decision. Earth would have to teach a whole galaxy how to be better. But humans were excited for the challenge. As the sun set on this amazing day, people all over Earth celebrated. They had gone from being bullied to being galactic heroes. Tom sat with his neighbors, watching the stars. "I can't believe how much has changed," he said. Maria smiled. "And it's only the beginning. Imagine what we'll do next." The Terran Empire had become more than anyone ever dreamed. They hadn't just saved themselves. They had changed the whole galaxy, and the biggest adventures were still to come. Humans win big. 5 years had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. The Terran Empire was now leading the whole galaxy. It wasn't easy, but humans were doing an awesome job. Jake Chen, once just a pilot, was now the head of the Galactic Peace Force. He was in a big meeting with aliens from 100 different worlds. "We need to talk about the Void Eater problem," Jake said. "They're still out there." A blue alien named Zorb spoke up. "But they're hiding. Why can't we just leave them alone?" Jake shook his head. "Because they won't stay hidden forever. We need to help them, not just fight them." This was a new idea. Most aliens thought the Void Eaters were just bad. But humans had learned that understanding was better than fighting. Meanwhile, on Earth, Tom was teaching a class. But it wasn't a normal class. Half his students were aliens. "Today, we're going to learn about kindness," Tom said. He looked at a small green alien. "Glorp, what does kindness mean on your planet?" Glorp made a funny noise. "We share our slime. It's how we show we care." The human kids laughed, but not in a mean way. They thought it was cool. This was happening all over Earth. Humans and aliens were learning from each other. They were becoming friends. But not everything was perfect. Some aliens still didn't trust humans. They thought Earth had too much power. Dr. Emily Chen was working on this problem. She had a new project called the Galaxy Link. It would let everyone in the galaxy talk to each other easily. "If we can all understand each other better, there will be less fear," Emily said. Her team worked day and night. Finally, they were ready to test it. Emily pressed a big red button. Suddenly, millions of aliens could talk to each other across the galaxy. At first, it was chaos. So many voices, so many languages. But slowly, something amazing happened. Aliens who never met before started to become friends. A fish-like alien from a water world talked to a fire alien. They found out they both loved the same kind of music. Two aliens who had been enemies for years learned they had more in common than they thought. They decided to stop fighting. The Galaxy Link was a big success. It brought the galaxy together like never before. Back in space, Jake was leading a mission. They had found the Void Eaters' home. But they weren't going to attack. They were going to talk. Jake's ship landed on a dark planet. It was scary. Everything seemed to eat light. A big shadowy creature came to meet them. It was the Void Eater leader. "Why are you here?" it asked in a deep voice. Jake took a deep breath. We want to understand you, and maybe help." The Void Eater was surprised. No one had ever tried to understand them before. Jake learned that the Void Eaters were hungry. Their planet was dying. They ate other planets to survive. "What if we could help you fix your planet?" Jake asked. "Would you stop eating others?" The Void Eater thought for a long time. Then it nodded. This was a big moment. Humans had found a way to make peace with the scariest aliens in the galaxy. News of this spread fast. Everyone was amazed. Humans had done what no one thought was possible. The Galactic Council called a big meeting. Every alien race was there. They all agreed humans had made the galaxy a better place. "We want to change our name," the council leaders said. "From now on, we'll be the Galactic Alliance, and Earth will lead us." Everyone cheered. It was official. Humans had won the biggest prize of all, peace. That night, there was a party on every planet in the galaxy. Aliens danced with humans. Old enemies laughed together. On Earth, Tom and his neighbors watched the celebration on TV. They saw Jake shaking hands and tentacles with aliens. They saw Emily's Galaxy Link bringing smiles to millions of faces. "We did it," Maria said, smiling. "We really did it." Tom nodded. "And it's only the beginning. Think of all the adventures waiting for us out there." As fireworks lit up the sky, humans and aliens looked to the stars together. The galaxy was a big place, full of wonder and mystery, but now they would explore it as friends. The Terran Empire had become something greater than anyone imagined. They hadn't just won a war or made peace, they had brought a whole galaxy together. And the best part, their story was just beginning.